Everybody, welcome back. I'm Andre Fernandez. We're here at Miami Dolphins High School Football Media Day. I'm here with Flanagan head coach Devin Bush and his son Devin Bush Jr., linebacker for the Falcons. Big year at Flanagan last year, bigger year possibly this season coming up. Big things for the team. Guys, first off, I want to just ask you about how much fun was last season just to go through that process of, leading this team through an undefeated year deep into the playoffs. Obviously, you're shooting for bigger things this season around, but to see, the program really come along the way it did last year, how gratifying was that?
Well, last year definitely was a blast. It's something that my kids can take with them forever. They can relate back to those experiences. Us talking about it in the beginning of the year, saying we want to accomplish those things, and we did it. We just didn't make it to the state final game, but we did it. We went an undefeated season, went deep into the playoffs, so we accomplished almost every goal except for one. So, that's a tremendous thing to do. Not many guys can say they've ever done that. I didn't even do it in high school, so it was blast for me. It was a blast.
How about for you, Devin, as a player?
It was fun for me. I was obviously watching, but at one point I thought I was like, man, we be almost fingertips close to getting this state title. But we fell short, but it was still fun. The whole season was just fun.
I want to ask you because it had to hurt a lot to not be able to be in there with those guys in that game in the state semifinal. How motivated are you this season? Because of what happened.
I'm above motivated about it, for anybody, for everything. I'm not taking anything for granted this year. Get my team ready. Overall, I feel like we're gonna take this thing all the way as far as we can.
Coach, what did you learn as a coach last season? The way it ended. It was, it had to hurt to have such a great season end that way. What have you taken from that going forward?
Well, a lot of experience. Getting to that game, that was the first time as a coach, as a player, being in that game. So just learning about it, the things to do, how to do things better, how to prepare better, how to get my players better, motivated, better prepared to play in those type of games. So it was just a great experience. I learned a whole lot from it. We played against a very good Columbus team, and they went on and played for a state championship. They came up a little bit short, but we still proud of them down here in South Florida. But I just learned a whole lot from that game.
Not a lot of people get the chance to coach their son and have a son turn out the way he has. Tell us a little bit about your son and just the relationship between you two.
Well, we have he's like my best friend. And, just from him being a little baby saying he wanted to play football and coming up and doing it. And me being a football player in South Florida myself in Dade County. And I was just thinking the other day, as a high school football player, he's actually a more decorated player than I am. He could possibly be a three-time state player, on the state list. I made state once. I was a state player once, and I'm just so proud of him. I'm just so proud of the man he is. He's very unselfish. None of this is about him. The way he looks after his teammates, and it's about them, and the way he tries to make them better while get himself better in the same process, but just his demeanor and his character. I can go to sleep at night and know that he's going to do the right thing. He's going to lead others and think about others. He's going to be very respectful. When he go and meet other people, he's going to make a good impression on them. And so for me as a coach and a father, I couldn't ask for a better kid. And outside of the football, forget about the football accomplishments and the things that he does on the field. I'm just proud to be his father because of the man I know he's going to be.
Do you ever catch yourself you have to be his coach, but sometimes maybe you stop yourself because you catch yourself kind of admiring as a father what he's been able to do, and then you kind of tell yourself, okay, here we go.
Yeah, it happens sometimes throughout the season in the games. He'll make some plays, and I sit and pull myself back and say, how did he do that? How did he see that and do that? So I catch myself being a really big fan. Like I told him before, I'm a fan of football, and he's one of my favorite players, let alone not him just being my son, just the way he plays the game, the way that his approach to it, the energy he brings to it, and the excitement that he plays with. And like I said, just the way he affects the other players. So I become a fan of that, just watching. So at some points in time, you get back and you say, whoa.
On the flip side of that, what's it like playing for Dad?
It's fun. It's hard. There's a lot of expectations. I've been doing this for a long time now, so I kind of know what he expects out of the football player. He wants to almost mold everybody into. You know, he wants everybody to play physical, play smart, and play fast. You know, and I think I do a great job, you know, feeding that off to my guys by example and by voice. But it's fun though. Like I said, I like the expectations. I like the challenges I go through. You know, just off the small things, correct the small things, not just the bigger picture of things, making the play or I might did something wrong in that play. You know, it actually gets me better. I kind of like it.
Did you watch his games growing up? Did you watch him a lot, like pretty much?
I heard. I don't remember, but I know I heard I did.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Super Bowl. I remember at the end, all I seen was balloons and confetti. That's all I seen.
And I've talked to, you know, dynamics like that where coaching their son, and they always say that they got to be a little bit harder on them. Is that the case here with him?
Yeah.
Never lets up?
Above everything, yeah. I can do the smallest thing, you know, I feel like I messed the whole play up. But like I said, it just gets me better as a player and as a person, you know, to admire the small things, and the small things would make you better than everybody else, not just the bigger picture.
How's the future looking right now as far as like colleges go?
It's still fun now. It's getting hard. You know, I'm talking to him, other people, help me out with my decision.
What have you kind of told your son to kind of like make him, you know, prepare him? Because obviously it's going to be a whole different experience now for college. You went through that. What are some of the, I guess, the lessons, the most important lessons you're trying to instill in him?
Well, the thing is, I want him to be sure of what he wants, the kind of situation, the kind of atmosphere he wants to be in. You don't deal a lot with offensive coaches and offensive players. He's a defensive player. So what's going to have to be important is the scheme, the defensive coordinator, his position coach, and then the type of players that you're going to be in a huddle with. I mean, that's really going to make your whole experience, the guys that you're going to spend a lot of time with, gel with, the guys you're going to compete with, the guys that you're going to lean on and count on and love and look left and right and say, hey, man, I'm going to play my heart out for you. And that really, really enhances the experience. I mean, you hear a lot of people go around saying you don't commit to a coach. It's impossible. Because you can't commit to a school because those are just hollow walls. It's just a building. You know, those buildings, like I said, they don't coach you, they don't nurture you, they don't love you, they don't spend time with you. You just walk through them. So when nobody's there, they're just hollow walls. So what makes the school and the building is that the people that are there at that time, the coaching staff, the players, equipment staff, just all the people that's the things that are put in place to make that experience good for you. So I tell him to make sure he look all the way down to that smallest detail and just gather all the information that you collect all the data and just try to make the best decision that fits you. That's important, that fits you, that you're comfortable with.
Then what's the most important thing you're looking for in a college right now?
Mostly is just having the love of being there, you know. I feel like, am I going to feel like I want to be there for 4 or 5 years? Or do I feel like I can't get real comfortable there? That's some of the biggest thing for me, you know, just being comfortable and like.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. And Flanagan, like we said, this year, the big-time contender in Class 8A for a state championship. They're probably going to be in the national rankings, too. Coach Bush and Devin Jr., we appreciate you. And good luck this season. Best of luck with everything. And all the best. We'll catch the Falcons this season.